Hi, I am Kaiser on Wheels, and today I'm at Lopes to test ride the brand new Honda PCX 125. And when I say brand new, I mean brand new, because Honda has recreated this bike from the ground up. New chassis, new engine, new suspension, new tire sizes. So this is basically everything is new. So a quick front to back. The front tire is a 120 with 120. Yes, I think it's 120 14-inch rim. No, the rear is a 100 14-inch rim. The rear is 120 14-inch rim, bigger than the old ones. You have a single disc brake with ABS at the front. The rear is a drum brake, but it does lock up, so there's no need for a bigger one, to be honest. Full LED everything, including the indicators. You have this tiny little deflector, which actually works much better than you'd expect. You have this little plate to remove for the top case, so you just remove this and plunk the top case here. I can't open this because I've already delivered the key, so I don't have the key. The dashboard you're going to see in a minute, but I did not show this on the Portuguese video. You have a little cubby hole which has a power outlet here. Cool. It's not a 5-volt one though. It's pretty freaking big, actually. No. Oh, and the passenger foot pegs, they're integrated there. They look cooler, much cooler. That's a PCX basically. The onboard computer has the average consumption, and that's it, and you can't really change it. It's just a basic one with just an average consumption, but there is an onboard computer. Suspension is also different. The rear suspension is also different. You can see here. Oh, the rear swing arm is pretty different. It's cut to be lighter. Pretty cool. But you are here to see how it goes, so let's go. So first things first, let's try this out on the Honda PCX's Achilles heel, which has always been bad pavement. And I know of no worse pavement than this. I've already done this for the Portuguese video, so I have some conclusions straight ahead, but I'll show you. Check this out. This is now a billion times better than the original PCX. The original PCX and its evolution, but the original one had a very, very bad rear suspension. It was very uncomfortable over bumps. The next one was better, much better, but it was still a poor bike on your back, okay? The rear suspension was, well, weak. The first one was bad, the second one was just meh. Average to bad. This one is great. In fact, as soon as I picked it up, as soon as I rode the first 5 meters, I thought, this is different. Everything's smoother. I cannot feel the engine working under me. I can't. There is literally no vibration. It feels like an electrical bike. I feel nothing under me. At higher speeds, say upwards of 80, then I start feeling some vibrations, but it's uncanny how there's absolutely no indication that the engine is actually running. Also, as you heard or did not hear, the center stand does no longer scrape at any kind of more enthusiastic turn, and the engine is smoother. This engine is a lot slower because the bike is only 300 kilometers old, so it's still very stiff. It's still on the braking in phase, so I can't really tell you if it's better or worse than the new one, than the old one, because the old one was very spiffy accelerating. This one doesn't feel like that, but then again it is very stiff from being new, so I can't really put much into it. But it's so smooth. It's really odd. You have to try one to see just how smooth it is. It's just the word. Just pick it up, and that's what comes to your mind. Just smooth. Just glides along over bumps with the engine not vibrating under you. You're just like sitting in little clouds and off you go. Cool. This guy's test driving. I test drove that one. That's the bike on the previous video I did, literally. And it corners better than the old one, much better. It's still a very light bike. Check it out, see? Only moving my hips, I can do all of this to the bike. Just shaking my hips. It is still a ridiculously light bike, but it is a lot stabler while cornering. The old one was always a bit, well, wobbly on cornering. Because again, this is not what this bike is for. Remember that. This bike is for city riding. So it's supposed to be agile and nimble. This keeps the agility and nimbleness with none of the instability of the previous two ones. So the whole suspension has been massively improved. Massively improved. The tires are also bigger, as you saw. So the whole feel of it is just feels great. It feels much bigger. The original PCX has always been a small bike, a small scooter, a small in-town scooter for in-town stuff. This one feels a bit bigger, behaves like a bit, Jesus fucking Christ, behaves a little bit bigger. If you didn't notice, that Volvo was going to dodge in front of me. I think he only noticed me because of the freaking mohawk I have on top of my helmet. This thing on top of my helmet has just saved my life and my wallet. Very likely. Whoa-wee, okay. Okay, as I was saying, this feels bigger. It also has a bigger price tag, but it does feel like a bigger bike. It has ABS on the front, but it does not have ABS on the rear. So I'm going to try the brakes hard here at 80 kph. I'm just going to clamp on the brakes and just try to modulate the rear one, because the rear one does not have ABS. Or rather, I'll just do like a noob and just clamp onto the brakes and see what happens. I'll need some place safe. Okay, 3, 2, 1, clamp. Yeah, that was impressive. That was very impressive. The ABS activated, but when the ABS activates, you don't feel anything or nearly anything on the lever. But I was expecting to lock up the rear and I didn't. Why? It does not have ABS on the rear. I can show you that. Listen. See, there is no ABS on the rear, and I have the skid mark there to show it. But there is ABS at the front. But when I broke hard, the rear didn't lock. So there's some magic going on here. Maybe it's combined braking, and so the ABS at the front triggers also ABS at the rear? Something like that, maybe? That ought to be a great technology, so it would allow you to do some skids for fun, but not lock up your rear when you brake with both. Let's try again. I'm going to actively brake with the front, trying to activate ABS front and rear. 3, 2, 1, go. I did not lock up the rear. Oh, I did lock up the rear, look. I did lock up the rear. I'm going to turn around. This is a very agile bike, so I can do the... Oh, this is very easy, and see? That's my lock up here. I'm sorry, Lopsy Lops, I am ruining this bike's tire, but... However, it has a turning circle of nothing. Just... I didn't even reach the maximum. Jeesh, what is this? Is it free turning? Can I turn it 360 around? That is one tight turning circle. Check this out. Let's see if I can do this the whole way, the whole turn. I can't. Jeesh, I can't. There's just so much to... Right, okay. Let's try doing it a full turn. Jesus! Look at this! Okay, this is the maximum. It can... nearly turn inside the circle of itself. This is ridiculous. Look at this. Just check this out. This is completely ridiculous. It's really hard to do this at full lock, but just check out this full lock. I'm going to turn. It's this. I'm pointing this way. I'm just going to slowly turn around. The turning radius of this thing is literally from here to there. It's this. It's one car width. I can go literally turn around in the space of a car. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now that is a tight turning circle. Let's see how this goes in town. Let's go in and try it out here. This is a bit deserted, but the roads are tight, so it's a good simulation of in-town commuting. I know in traffic this is awesome. Any small scooter will be. The original PCX was, so this will be no different. However, this little spot has a little bit of everything. So we're going to try it out. We're gonna go left here. Tight turn. Works like a charm. Ooh, is that an i8? It is an i8. Awesome. With a Porsche, so money lives there. That's a lot of money in cars over there. Oh, we'll do that turn afterwards. I want to do this here. It doesn't scrape. The center stand is no longer scraping ground. It used to scrape ground at the slightest look. Now it doesn't. Let's try through that bad pavement over there. Let's check it out. This is one beautiful, beautiful car. Let's go here over the sidewalk. Ouch! That hurt. But the rest, fine. Look, a normal PCX here. Up and down sidewalks, please do it slowly, like any bike. This was a bit taller sidewalk than I was expecting. But it's still a very agile, very easy bike to use under these conditions. It still works very, very well. I wonder where this leads. Oops, I forgot I did not have rear ABS, so I locked up and I started slipping and sliding everywhere. See how ABS works here? Let's go around. This is why I like no ABS on the rear. So you can do this. Very, very cool bike. Even for in-town commuting. Awesome little bike. And because everyone's going to ask, here is the top speed of the Honda PCX 125. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's a small uphill. 9, 109. So that's it. It's 109 kilometers per hour. Oh, 111. Yay! 112! Yay! I think it's slipstream and the stiff tailwind. Yeah, that's enough. I have to turn now. So that's it, the top speed. So, summing up this bike, and yes, you are correct. If you've noticed that, I'm doing this right after the walk around because I did the walk around when I delivered the bike. Honda took the very popular and very good Honda PCX, which had its issues. The PCX had some issues. The PCX was a very small bike, it was cramped. This one isn't. The rear suspension wasn't that good. It was stiff, it would hurt your back. And they just corrected all the issues. And they made a brilliant in-town scooter, which can also be used for slightly bigger rides. It's not going to be a bike to cross the world on, but it's something you can use for a 60 kilometer or a 30 kilometer round 30 kilometer commute or 60 kilometer round trip. Now the PCX, that would be about its limit and would be uncomfortable for a 60 kilometer round trip commute. This one will do that easily. It's more fun, it's as agile as the previous one, it corners better, brakes better, accelerates. I can't say if it accelerates better or not. It looks pretty spiffy. I actually think I might prefer the rear one, the old one, but the tires out of the box are very good tires. They just took the basic one and just improved everything. Thing is, that increases prices, so the price is now high. It's expensive. It's no longer a cheap Honda scooter for in town. Now it is an expensive Honda scooter for in town, and as such it is a great Honda scooter for in town, but it's expensive and there's a lot of competition for a cheaper price tag, but it's likely not as good. So yeah, that's the conclusion. It is now a premium scooter for in town. Is there a market for that? I believe there is. So that's it. Cager out.